Pete the Cat Falling for Autumn, written by Kimberly and James Dean, read to you with permission from HarperCollins. Without further ado, let's go. It is the first day of fall, and Pete the Cat is feeling blue. I like summer better, he says. In summer, I can swim and surf and play at the beach. Maybe you just need to remind yourself of all the things you love about autumn, Mom suggests. Pete says. I'll try. Pete finds Grandma in the kitchen. She's baking delicious pumpkin pies. The whole house smells sweet and spicy. Pete loves helping Grandma bake pumpkin pies, but he loves eating it even more. After the baking is done, Pete picks up a squat orange pumpkin from the counter and slips it into his backpack as a souvenir. Next, Pete heads to the town corn maze. Pete and his friends wander through the long, twisty paths made of tall corn stalks. The best part of the corn maze is getting lost and having to start over again. As he leaves, Pete plucks a golden corn cob from the maze and places it inside his backpack. Then Pete visits Grandpa, who is knitting on the porch. Grandpa helps Pete use the knitting needles to knit the yarn into cool patterns. Together, Pete and Grandpa make a long, cozy scarf for Pete to wear. When they're done, Pete chooses a little ball of leftover yarn and places it inside his backpack. Next, Pete goes to the hayride at the park. Pete, Bob, Mom, Dad, and Grandpa all pile into a wagon filled with hay. They go on a bumpy wagon ride around the park. Woohoo! Pete shouts. At the end of the ride, Pete grabs a handful of sweet-smelling hay from the wagon and stuffs it into his backpack. Pete heads over to the apple orchard, where he and Callie go apple picking. They eat sweet apple donuts and drink hot apple cider and fill their buckets with apples of all different shapes and sizes. Before he leaves, Pete chooses a round red apple and drops it into his backpack. Next, Pete stops by the park. He plays touch football with Bob and their friends. Pete scores a touchdown and everyone cheers! After the game, Pete grabs Bob's football and stuffs it into his backpack. It barely fits! Bob won't mind if I borrow this, Pete says. Finally, Pete heads back home, but he stops in his front yard, which is covered in bright leaves falling from the trees. Pete helps his dad rake the leaves into colorful mounds. Then Pete runs and jumps into all of the leaf piles. After he's done jumping, Pete picks a bunch of red and gold and orange leaves and stuffs them into his backpack. Pete's backpack is bursting with fall souvenirs. He can't wait to show Mom. I love autumn, Pete says. Wonderful, says Mom. You know, these would make great decorations for Thanksgiving. So Pete helps Mom fill a basket with all his mementos. They place the basket at the center of the table. You did a great job, Pete, says Mom. It's beautiful, says Dad.
Is that my football?
Asks Bob. Just then, the doorbell rings. The Thanksgiving guests are here. All of Pete's family and friends gather around the dining room table. They tell stories and laugh at jokes while they eat. Everyone is having a great time. Pete looks around the table and smiles. He loves lots of things about autumn, but Pete knows what he loves most all year long. His family and friends. The end. I have a classic. It's an oldie but a goodie. It's called Turkey Trouble by Wendi Silvano, illustrated by Lee Harper. This is definitely a Thanksgiving classic, but it is a fun read for any time of year. Grab a seat and read along with me. Let's go. Turkey was in trouble. Bad trouble. The kind of trouble when it's almost Thanksgiving and you're the main course. But Turkey had an idea. What if he didn't look like a turkey? What if he looked like a horse? Surely Farmer Jake wouldn't eat a horse for Thanksgiving. His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a horse. Almost.
Moo,
said Cow.
stop horsing around, Turkey.
How'd you know it was me? Moaned Turkey.
Too short,
said Cow. Gobble, gobble, grumbled Turkey. But looking at Cow gave Turkey a new idea. Surely Farmer Jake wouldn't eat a cow for Thanksgiving. His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a cow. Almost. Oink, 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 snorted Pig. Holy cow! Is that you, Turkey? How'd you know it was me? Groaned Turkey. Too skinny, said Pig. Gobble, gobble, grumbled Turkey. But looking at Pig gave Turkey a new idea. Surely Farmer Jake wouldn't eat a pig for Thanksgiving. His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a pig. Almost. Bah, bah, bleated Sheep. Quit being such a ham, Turkey. How'd you know it was me? Wailed Turkey. Too clean, said Sheep. Gobble, gobble, grumbled Turkey. But looking at Sheep gave Turkey a new idea. Surely Farmer Jake wouldn't eat a sheep for Thanksgiving. His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a sheep. Almost.
Cock-a-doodle-doo!
Crowed Rooster.
Bad idea, Turkey.
How'd you know it was me? Howled Turkey.
Too brown.
Squawked Rooster. Gobble, gobble, grumbled Turkey. But looking at Rooster gave Turkey a new idea. In fact, it was his best idea yet. He already looked a lot like a rooster. This costume would be easy. Surely Farmer Jake wouldn't eat a rooster for Thanksgiving. Or would he? Rooster might be his next choice, Turkey worried, since roosters and turkeys look so much alike. Oh, gobble, gobble. Farmer Jake came into the barn. Turkey, 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 come out, wherever you are. Where's the turkey? Asked Farmer Jake's wife. I don't know, he said. I looked everywhere. Oh dear, what will we do without a turkey for Thanksgiving? Well, we could always eat the rooster, I guess. Oh no, not Rooster, thought Turkey. He looked around desperately for one more idea. Then he found it. His costume wasn't bad. In fact, it was Turkey's best yet. Happy Thanksgiving. Did you order pizza? Asked Farmer Jake's wife. Nope, he said, but it was a good idea. So they all sat down and gobbled up the pizza. And it was Turkey's best Thanksgiving ever. I am going to read Fangsgiving by Ethan Long. Get ready to take a bite. Let's go. It was the fourth Thursday in November, and the monsters gathered for their annual Thanksgiving feast. Everyone chipped in. Virginia whipped up the sweet potato casserole. Sandy mixed the stuffing. Mumford made the cranberry sauce. Of course, Vladimir prepared the turkey. He knew how to cook it just right. Then, out of nowhere, he heard a Uncle Gus, Aunt Bessie, Joey and Schmoey. What a pleasant surprise.
Flatty!
Vladimir loved seeing his family, even when they dropped in unexpectedly. It was a happy reunion. Vladimir invited them inside. Everyone, this is my family. Family, this is everyone.
Oh my! What is that interesting smell?
Mashed potatoes with garlic. Aunt Bessie whipped up another batch, this time with eyeballs and earwax. Uncle Gus inspected the turkey. Of course, he had his own method. Now that's how you cook a turkey. Joey and Schmoey helped Fran make the pumpkin pie, but it turned into a lumpkin pie.
They just love maggot meatballs.
Then there was Spike, who never met anything he didn't want to swallow. Anything. Vladimir loved his family, but they were quickly making a monstrosity of the Thanksgiving feast. Baboon burps. Yum.
Snail spit makes everything taste good.
It needs one more good zap. And they didn't stop there. The bean casserole had 10 sticks of boogie butter in it. The mashed potatoes had a strange look to them, and the biscuits were as hard as headstones. And the turkey? Let's just say that Uncle Gus cooked it to death. But because they were family, Vladimir was determined to make the best of it. Okay, everyone, gather round. It's morning already? Could somebody shut that window? The sun is burning my eyes. The room went black. Bad idea!
Yeah, I can't see anything.
Maybe the food will taste better if we can't see it.
What's that crunching sound?
Somebody turn on the light.
And when the light went on, Thanksgiving was gone. Doggone. Spike had devoured everything. For Vladimir, this was the last straw. You ruined Thanksgiving! What do you mean we've ruined Thanksgiving?
We were only trying to help. Vladdy, you can't be mad at us. We're family.
Aunt Bessie was right. They were family. And if Vladimir remembered correctly, family worked together. So he demanded a do-over. They cooked all day. They used whatever they could find. They made potato peel pudding. They cooked a bread crust casserole. They baked turkey bone biscuits. They even made a batch of flea bean dip with just a touch of garlic. And that evening, with some corn dogs they found in the freezer, out came the perfect turkey. Now that's how you cook a turkey.
It looks amazing.
Great work, everyone.
Are corn dogs made of real dogs?
So on the fourth Friday in November, everyone gave thanks. Even Spike was grateful, in his own way. And of course, the food was to die for.
More, please.
Turkey Goes to School by Wendi Silvano, illustrated by Lee Harper. I am going to do all of the Turkey Trouble books, so check in the description below for the links. Let's go. The first day of school was fast approaching. Max and Millie were super excited, and so were the animals on Farmer Jake's farm, especially since the first week's theme was Farm Days. They were certain they would be invited.
Stories, counting, singing, painting, said Turkey. It all sounds so fun. I can't wait to go.
Each day, Turkey got his pals to practice their school skills so they'd be ready. They wrote their names, counted corn kernels, read stories, and even tried out recess games. But when the big day came, they were booted off the bus.
Critters aren't allowed at school,
said Millie.
You need to stay out the farm.
Gobble, gobble, groaned Turkey. We just have got to go to school. We can't miss out on all that fun. Well then, said Horse, let's giddy up and go. When the animals arrived, teachers were talking. Children were chasing. Parents were taking pictures. It's too bad critters aren't allowed in class, said Sheep. It's total hogwash, grunted Pig. Turkey, why don't we team up to sneak you in, and then maybe you can get us in? Gobbledy, good idea, said Turkey. I think I know just what to do. No one will notice an extra backpack in the bunch. His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a backpack. Almost. Totally foolish, Turkey, said Max. Critters aren't allowed at school. Pack it up and head back to the farm. Gobble, gobble, moaned Turkey. I've got to find a way to get in. Rooster peeked in the window.
They're starting StoryTime. A book disguise might just doodle-doodle-doo,
he said. Turkey agreed. His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a book. Almost. We'll create a little distraction out here while you book it inside, said Sheep. Turkey stayed quiet and still during the story.
Can we read that one next?
Asked a girl pointing right at Turkey. The teacher looked.
That's no book. Turkey, I'm paging the principal. Critters aren't allowed at school. You're bound for the farm.
Turkey bolted outside. Gobble, gobble, he howled. I need a better disguise. It's almost recess, said Horse. Maybe it's a good chance to blend in with the group. Score, said Turkey. A ball is sure to get in the game. His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a soccer ball. Almost. The kids came running out to the playground. Horse bucked Turkey up in the air, and Cow headbutted him into the middle of the crowd. Goal! Cool jumbo soccer! Cried a boy. Turkey was dizzy and dinged. He teetered and tottered right into Millie.
I call a foul,
cried Millie.
Turkeys aren't allowed at school. Roll on home.
Gobble, 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 grumbled Turkey. How am I ever going to get inside?
Maybe you can make your move as a lunch lady in the cafeteria,
said Cow. Brilliant, said Turkey. His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a lunch lady. Almost. Pig pilfered a cart filled with food. Turkey pushed it right into the serving line and began to parcel out pizza. Cheese turkey, hollered the lunch lady. No one is swallowing that disguise. Critters aren't allowed at school. Out, out, out. Turkey trudged outside.
I just don't get it,
squawked Rooster.
It's farm days. We should be front and center.
That's it, cried Turkey. I have the perfect plan.
The principal poked her head in the classroom.
You have special guest visitors for farm days, she said. Farmer Jake and his animals are going to sing a song with you.
Turkey and his pals walked to the front of the classroom. Turkey sang out,
Farmer Jakey had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a turkey, E-I-E-I-O. With a gobble gobble here and a gobble gobble there. Here a gobble, there a gobble, everywhere a gobble gobble.
The children cheered.
Can we sing some more?
Millie asked. She looked at the teacher hopefully. So did Turkey and his pals.
Critters still aren't allowed at school, but I suppose they can be our special farm guests this afternoon.
So Turkey and his pals stayed, and it was a farm-tastic first and last day of school. Thanks for reading with me. I will have all the Turkey Trouble books in the description. Check below for the playlist. And keep reading every day. It's the most important thing you can do for your brain. See you soon. A Little Thanksgiving Spot, written and illustrated by Diane Alber. Let's get right into this one. Let's go. Hi, I'm a thankful spot. Do you know what day it is?
Thursday?
It's not just any Thursday. It's the last Thursday of November.
I'm so excited. What day is that?
It's Thanksgiving. Run for your lives.
Is it really Thanksgiving?
Yes, it's Thanksgiving. When some people think of Thanksgiving, they may think of a turkey or pumpkin pies. But Thanksgiving is really all about being thankful. Don't think of me. Think of pies, pies, pies. Thanksgiving is by far my favorite holiday. Not only does my name in Thanksgiving have the word thank in common, but people spend all day thinking of things they are thankful for, like love, books, donuts, art, kindness, and glitter. Let's give it a try. What is something you are thankful for?
Toilet paper.
Ha! I think we are all thankful for toilet paper. Let me show you my list to give you some more ideas. I'm so thankful nobody can see me, gobble gobble.
This is a great list.
I actually wrote down things I'm thankful for every day. Today I'm adding, I'm thankful for my yummy hot cocoa this morning, a beautiful sunrise, and being in a new Thanksgiving book. I'm thankful for people who don't think of me on Thanksgiving.
We should make a list too.
That would be great! Did you know there are so many benefits of being thankful? Oh, I'm thankful for books that help you not to think of turkeys. That's why you don't need to wait until Thanksgiving to be thankful. You can be thankful all year. Oh, I'm thankful for vegetarians all year. You can be thankful every morning. And you can be thankful every night. When you wake up, try to think of 3 things you are thankful for. This can help grow your confidence spot. When you are thankful for who you are, you don't compare yourself to others. At the end of the day, think of 3 more things you are thankful for. Positive thoughts help your brain rest. Did you know that showing gratitude can help others feel loved too? Saying thank you makes others feel appreciated.
Thank you for reading to us. Wow, I didn't realize how great being thankful is.
We have started our list. Thank you for showing us.
Thanksgiving might be pretty great after all. Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Another thankful book. This is amazing! Check out the companion book, A Little Thankful Spot, and the Thankful Worksheet at www.dianealber.com.
And don't forget to eat more pie, less turkeys. Gobble, gobble.
Bye-bye. Taylor the Thankful Turkey, written by Sonica Ellis. What I like about this book is it really touches the heart of what Thanksgiving is all about. It's about being thankful. It's about friends. It's about family and letting them know what they mean to you. While you're reading this book, think about everything you're grateful for or thankful for, and think about the people that you are thankful for. And when you see them next, let them know. Let's go. It was Thanksgiving Day in the town of Cranberry Hills, and Taylor Turkey was dressed and ready to go. He had a list of all the houses he needed to visit. Taylor grabbed his basket of goodies and off he went, down the road to Teddy Bear's house. When he arrived, Taylor knocked on the door.
Hello,
Taylor said.
I wanted to let you know that I'm thankful for all the things you've done for me. I would like to give you a jar of sweet homemade honey sauce.
Why, thank you, Taylor. That's really nice of you, Teddy replied. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. Taylor hurried to the next house on his list. Once again, he knocked on the door. This time, Mrs. Squirrel answered. Hello, Taylor. What a pleasant surprise. To what do I owe this pleasure? She asked.
I wanted to stop by and say thank you, said Taylor. I made some roasted pumpkin seeds just for you.
How kind of you, exclaimed Mrs. Squirrel. Happy Thanksgiving, Taylor. Taylor walked a little farther and soon arrived at Mr. Rabbit's house. Just as he was about to knock, the door opened. Well, hello, Taylor. It's always nice to see you, said Mr. Rabbit.
I wanted to stop by and give you this basket of carrots, said Taylor. They're fresh from my garden. Happy Thanksgiving, Mr. Rabbit.
Taylor visited all his neighbors, family, and all his friends. He told them how thankful he was to have them in his life, and he gave each of them something from his garden. Before long, word of what Taylor had done spread through the town. Everyone decided to follow in Taylor's footsteps. Gifts of sweet potato pie and cranberry jams were exchanged. Letters and words of encouragement shared, and the message was always the same. Big or small, always be thankful for what you have. The end. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Remember, share with your friends and family all of the things you're thankful for, and give that person you're thankful for a big ol' hug. Turkey's Sandtastic Beach Day by Wendi Silvano, illustrated by Lee Harper. I know you're going to love this one. Let's go. The Summer Children's Festival was in full swing. Farmer Jake made a special trip with his farm animals. Turkey and his pals loved kids, and they were happy to be there, mostly. But the sand looked so soft and warm, and the waves looked so foamy and fun. Oh, how I would love to be down there, moaned Turkey. I've never even had a chance to walk on the beach.
So, long time no see?
Rooster laughed. Joke, said Sheep. We'd all like to be down there. Well, I'm going, said Turkey, just for a few minutes. No one will know it's me, said Turkey. I'll be a crab. Who will help? I'm sure I can figure something out, said Pig. His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a crab. Almost. Pig and Turkey slipped away from the petting zoo, and Sand tunneled down to the beach. I'll stay here and grunt if Farmer Jake comes, said Pig. Remember to walk sideways. Turkey scuttled across the sand. Ah, he said, this is utterly crabulous. But then, stop, said the lifeguard. You're not a crab, you're a turkey. Farmer Jake is looking for you, You better get back to the petting zoo. Oh, gobble, gobble, groaned Turkey. So much for beachcombing. What can I do on the beach that Farmer Jake won't notice?
No one pays attention to sunbathers, said Sheep. You might as well try that. I'll help. What an outstanding idea, said Turkey. I know just the disguise. I'll be a seashell and just lie there.
His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a seashell. Almost. Sheep helped Turkey sneak down to the perfect spot for sunbathing.
Oh,
Gobbled Turkey as he soaked up some rays.
I love the beach.
But then...
Unbelievable,
said Farmer Jake.
What are you doing on the beach, Turkey?
Turkey shrugged.
I'm just taking a little siesta.
Farmer Jake shook his finger.
Well, it's official. You are going back to the petting zoo. Oh, gobble, gobble,
howled Turkey.
So much for sunbathing.
Turkey sighed as he watched the beachgoers having fun.
Those surfers sure have some pretty cool moves,
said Cow.
You would probably be good at surfing, Turkey.
That's a whale of an idea,
said Turkey.
Help me make a disguise, Cow.
His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a surfer dude. Almost. Cow and Turkey waited until a crowd of surfers passed by. Cow shoved Turkey into the group and whispered,
Hey, dude.
Turkey paddled hard, then stood on the board.
This is epic!
He hollered. But then the lifeguard looked down at Turkey.
I'm getting tired of finding you on the beach,
he said.
And I'm bored of having to chase you back to the petting zoo. Oh, gobble, gobble, gobble,
yelled Turkey.
So much for surfing. I'll never get to enjoy the beach.
Horse stomped his hoof.
Hold your horses. You can go snorkeling. No one will notice you under the water.
Turkey's eyes went wide.
Especially if I look like a shark. I am a good swimmer. Help me out, horse.
His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a shark. Almost. Turkey swished and swashed his tail as he swam round and round. But then...
Shark! Another shark? Yikes.
Everyone bolted from the water, including Turkey.
I thought something fishy was going on here,
said Farmer Jake.
Turkey, you're finished. Get back to the petting zoo.
Turkey trudged back to the boardwalk. Farmer Jake kept a close eye on the animals. But then...
Gobble, gobble, whispered Turkey. Here's our chance.
There's a sand sculpture contest going on right now,
said Rooster.
We could do one pretty quickly if we all help.
That's a gobbledy great idea,
said Turkey. When Farmer Jake awoke, he didn't see his animals until the judges declared Turkey Town the winning sand sculpture.
And the grand prize,
said the announcer,
is a free stay at a house on your own private beach.
Turkey and his pals cheered. Farmer Jake just shook his head and laughed. When Turkey and his friends got to the private beach, they invited everyone to join them. It was the most Sandtastic beach day ever. The end. Hello, Book Leaguers, parents, teachers, and caregivers. Welcome to Book League Storytime Adventures. I have a great book for you. It's another book in the How to Catch series. It's called How to Catch a Turkey from the New York Times best-selling team of Adam Wallace and Andy Elkerton. And just a note, no turkeys were harmed in the making of this book. Let's go.
Here we
we are on Thanksgiving Day. It's that special time of year. Yes, I know I am a turkey. That much should be clear. So gather round, I have a tale, and it's really quite a story. What I tell you now is not a joke. It's my crowning glory. It all began 1 year ago. I was at school, you see. Play preparations were underway, but that didn't matter to me. Some kids walked by in silly clothes talking about the play.
We'll even have a turkey on stage. It's perfect for Thanksgiving Day.
Turkey? Stage? No way, no how. Had I really heard that right? I broke out of my pen and ran away with a bad case of stage fright. I burst into the science room. I knocked over flasks and beakers, and the cry of, "Catch that turkey!" boomed over the loudspeakers. So now more children joined the chase with catapults and food, but their goopy mashed potatoes weren't enough to keep me glued. Up next, there was a maze of books that stretched from wall to wall, but with a big hop and a mighty flap, I managed to escape it all. I ducked past chairs and bags and desks. Now that was quite the trick. The kids thought they could stop me here, but I was much too quick. I ran outside to the jungle gym, thinking I could hide, but the recess yard was all tricked out. I'd have better luck inside. Finally, the kids gave up, but the principal gave chase.
Excuse
My only hope
me.
of escaping her was keeping up my pace. I slid into the coach's room and crashed into a chair. I got tangled up in jerseys, but I won't get stuck in there. I ran into a curtain. There was nowhere else to go. I couldn't get past the principal, but the curtain led to the show. My heart was racing. I started to sweat, but I couldn't squawk or run. I took a deep breath. I can do this. Who knows? This might be fun. A kid stood up and pointed.
Oh my gosh, he's so cute.
He really is, a parent agreed, in his little mascot suit. I started to smile and even dance while the crowd continued to cheer. I was filled with joy that I took the chance. And that's what started my mascot career. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone! Gobble! Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Turkey's Birthday Bash, written by Wendi Silvano, illustrated by Lee Harper. This is the most recent installment of the Turkey Trouble books. I know you're going to love this one, so let's go. Turkey sat slumped at the side of the barn, his wattle whittled.
"Why so blue?"
asked Sheep.
"I've been dreaming about my birthday for weeks,"
Said Turkey.
"I know it sounds cheesy, but nothing would top a pizza party. But gobble, gobble, no one even seems to know today's my birthday." "Wow, happy birthday, Turkey,"
Said Pig.
Nay,
"From us too,"
Said Horse, Cow, and Rooster.
"Cheer up,
Said Sheep.
Farmer Jake's family is up to something in the backyard.
Maybe it's a party for you,
Oh, gobble, gobble,"
cried Turkey.
"Do you think it could be a pizza party?" "I don't know,"
Said Sheep.
"but I've heard whispering about something super spectacular."
Turkey's tail feathers shook with delight.
"I've got to get a peek at it."
That's a bad idea, said Sheep.
"What if they see you?" "But I can't wait,"
Said Turkey.
"I will go in disguise."
As what? Said Sheep.
"One extra cupcake won't be noticed,"
Said Turkey.
"Sweet plan,"
Said Sheep.
"I'll help."
His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a cupcake, almost.
When Farmer Jake went inside, Turkey slipped through the side gate. But then, "Turkey, this really takes the cake," Edna said. "We're busy with something here. You'd better go back to the barn." "Oh, gobble, gobble," said Turkey. "I need to see if it's a pizza party." "What happened?" asked Pig. "I got iced out. I need a different disguise." Said Pig. "An extra candle wouldn't stand out." "Bright idea," said Turkey. His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a candle. Almost. Pig helped Turkey sneak over to the perfect spying spot. Turkey stretched to peek out from the top. But then... "Millie!" called Edna. "Bring me the matches! I want to test out one of those new candles to make sure they're easy to light." Turkey jumped up and bolted and ran smack into Millie.
That's as far as you go,
cried Millie.
Blow on out of here and go back to the barn.
"Oh, gobble, gobble," moaned Turkey. "I really want to see if they're throwing me a pizza party."
I've got lots of real ideas to get you in.
crowed Rooster.
If it's a party, they'll need games. And the tail on the donkey is perfect. How about I doodle-doo you up in a donkey costume quick? Remember, once you're in place, you can't move.
"Gobble, gobble, got it," said Turkey. His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a donkey. Almost. Rooster knew just how to distract the family while Turkey snuck in. "I'm really gonna get a kick out of this," said Turkey. "No one will be able to tell it's me." "Except me," cried Max. "Hee-haw-ha-ha! Not funny, Turkey. You should go back to the barn." "Oh, gobble, gobble," wailed Turkey. "It's time to think outside the pizza box. There must be a way I can get in without getting caught."
If you were a piñata, you could look down on everything without being noticed,
said Cow. "Gobbledygook thinking," said Turkey. "That's a wacky idea. It just might work." His costume wasn't bad. In fact, Turkey looked just like a piñata. Almost. "Hang on and we will get you up there," whispered Cow. But then... crack! Snap! Ka-thud! Boom, boom, boom. Turkey's friends rushed toward him. "Are you hurt?" asked Horse. "No," grumbled Turkey. "But gobble, gobble. I didn't see anything super spectacular or any pizza. I don't even think the party is for me. Some birthday this is." "Well," said Sheep, "maybe we can try to make your birthday fun." "Okay," said Turkey. He trudged back to the barn. Pretty soon, Max came along. "Come to the backyard, everyone. We've got lunch." Turkey and the whole crew followed Max. Surprise!
Happy birthday, Turkey!
Turkey's eyes grew wide as he took in the scene. There were decorations, games, cupcakes, and ice cream. "This is super nice," Turkey whispered to Sheep. "It's too bad there's no pizza, though." "Turkey," said Edna, "we want your day to be spectacular and for you to have all the pizza you want on your big day. So we have a super special gift for you." "What is it?" said Turkey. "Beep, beep, beep."
Holy stromboli,
said Cow. All the farm friends cheered.
Yay!
"You said it," hollered Turkey. "Trust me, this is going to be the most super spectacular birthday ever." And it was.